Namaste, dear friends, and welcome once again from my table to your table. Today, we are going to discuss one of the most important meals of the day. Today, we are going to discuss breakfast. And true to its word, it is a break of a fast. Now let's say, even if you eat dinner very, very late, in spite of that, your breakfast comes at least 8 to 9 hours in the day. So let's say you have had dinner at 9 o'clock and you had breakfast at, let's say, 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock. Still, there is a 9 hours difference between your last meal and your first meal, which is breakfast. After digesting your dinner, your body doesn't rest. Your body is still working. You are resting, but your body systems like your digestive system, your cardiac system, the various systems in the body are still working. So the acid is still being produced in your stomach and it is growing as time passes by. So the first meal of the day, therefore, is the most important meal of the day. Now, you all must have heard the saying that eat breakfast like a king, lunch like a middle class person, and dinner like a pauper. In the modern world, which is upside down, all this has turned upside down. In the morning, everybody, including our children, are in such a hurry-burry that we just about gobble our breakfast. Forget sitting down and having breakfast. Off to work, we rush, just somehow eating something. The lunch is usually a workaday lunch or school lunch, which is had with friends. In case of children are happy playing. In case of adults, it's business meeting where we are focused more on the meeting than the eating. Or eating at the desk while we are watching our computer. So again, no attention paid to what we are eating, how we are eating. The dinner then becomes the most important part of the day, where we are at least hopefully eating something together with our families and not watching the TV. But I'm not going to digress there. I'm going to focus back on the breakfast. So breakfast, when we say have like a king, people assume we should eat a lot for breakfast. Again, eat rich for breakfast. That is not the meaning of a kingly breakfast. So let us divide the breakfast into kingly time, kingly texture, and quality quantity of breakfast. So let's say a king would have his breakfast in a very leisurely manner. But we do not have that kind of a time. So we have very little time. My heart goes out to the little children, and that's why I'm doing this live today, because schools, at least in Singapore, are starting from Monday. And the kids who have been at home for 2 months almost are going to be half asleep. I see the school buses going out and the poor little things are sleeping in the school bus. When they get out of the house, they get out of bed at least half an hour, just about half an hour to 15-20 minutes before the bus arrives, and mummy is trying to get ready, helper is trying to get ready, and they are trying to rush to school. At such a time, if they are given a breakfast which they have to chew, believe me, they don't chew it. They just about gobble it. Like most of us also, because we have a meeting, we have to rush for a call, we have to do this, we have to do that, we grab a breakfast on the go. And that's the problem. Because if you do not chew your breakfast, and that's the main reason we have been provided with teeth in the mouth, to break the food into smaller bites so that the stomach can digest it easily. If that doesn't happen, well, then we get reflux, hyperacidity. I can guarantee you, hyperacidity and reflux troubles more people than anything else in the modern world. Also, there are enzymes in the saliva like amylase, which digests 30% of the starch, and lysozyme, which is an antibacterial enzyme which acts as the first line of control, preventing pathogens, germs, bacteria, viruses from entering our system. We are in the midst of a pandemic and we wouldn't want any pathogens entering us. So therefore, chewing is very important. But what do? We don't have time. So therefore, we have to make use of gadgets to help break our food. You guessed it right, blenders. Either we blend our smoothies or we overcook our foods such that they are easy to swallow and take them in, more so for little children. So then the quantity and quality of food I have again divided into two types, the smoothie variety and the porridge Kanji variety. Now let's look at the smoothie. Now the quality of breakfast has to have 1/3 of fruit. I'm not saying vegetables, I'll explain in a bit why. 1/3 of nuts, which gives good healthy protein and good healthy fats, and 1/3 complex but easily digestible carbohydrates. Now why complex? Because when you have complex carbs, they will release sugar slowly into your blood and you won't have a sugar spike and a sugar dip. It will sustain you throughout the day because your breakfast is meant to give you that kickstart to push you through the day till your lunch, and you don't get those energy dips mid-morning. And it is very important for children because children, once they go to school, their brain is in play. Yes, not even in studies, it's play. In the short recess, they want to play. In the long recess, they want to play. At that age, children think food is an unnecessary chore. When they are teenagers, they want to bond with their friends, girlfriends, boyfriends, have so much to talk. Who wants to eat? Eating is such an unnecessary chore at that age. So yes, children need to be given a healthy breakfast so that they are able to sustain themselves at least till they get a proper meal, which is usually when they come back from school. Because whatever you pack for them, most of the time is not eaten completely. Do go and visit school cafeterias and have a look into the dustbins. You'll realize what I am saying. So coming back to the quality of food. So therefore, if we have fruits, which are 1/3, what kind of fruits do we choose? I'll come to the porridge in a bit. Let's first focus on our smoothies. What kind of fruits do we choose? Not exotic berries which come from the other side of the globe, because by the time they reach you, they have lost their nutrition. Also, you have added to the carbon miles, which adds to the global warming. One of the after effects of global warmings are horrendous pandemics, one of which we are facing now. So let's not add to the global warming. Let's get fruits which are regional and seasonal. Why regional? Because Mother Earth knows what's best for us. She knows what's best for us when it's best for us. So when summers start, we get the melons. When they peak, we get the mangoes, at least in Asia and Southeast Asia. You look at the different fruits. Oranges come in winters when we need maximum vitamin C during flus. So yes, we stay in a globalized world where things come from one side to another, yet make your choices of fruits that come from around your region. For those in Singapore, lovely dragon fruits we get, lots of lovely melons. Yes, use those fruits which come from your region because Mother Earth gives you what you need in that region from around it. Also seasonal. Right now is the mango season, but mind you, when June starts and the rains come in India, mangoes, at least the Alfonsos, are to be stopped eating. Just because you love them, you can't go on gobbling them. They will have their after effects too. So 1/3 of regional or seasonal fruit, 1/3 of nuts. Now nuts are not very easy to blend. So what I do is I take all kinds of nuts. walnuts, pecan nuts, macadamia nuts, hazelnuts, almonds, pistachio, seeds like sunflower, pumpkin, pine seeds, and I roast them, dry roast them on minimum temperature for about 10 minutes or 15 minutes, and then grind it and keep it like this, because I too have to reach my clinic, so I too have to make my breakfast and I don't have a helper. So 1/3 fruits, 1/3 of this ground nut powder, and 1/3 of the easily digestible carb. Before lockdown and before the international borders were locked, I used to get this Zwari lahi peat. Zwari is sorghum, lahi is pop, and peat is flour. Flour made from popped up sorghum, which is very healthy because sorghum is a millet and sorghum has lots of benefits. I have created another video, you all can go and check on my YouTube channel about sorghum. Lahi is when you pop it, you make it easy to digest, and then when it is ground, it is further easy to digest. Also, it has a lot of soluble and non-soluble fiber. But now, after lockdown, I won't be able to get it. So, I would use maybe aval or poha. You get brown rice poha, which is again flattened rice, which is already easy to digest. I can get baby oats. There are lots of options. If you think around it, you can make use of. Why easily digestible? Because remember, in a smoothie, you're not going to cook it. It's just going to be ground. So I would create a smoothie of these 3 things, and that would be my start of the day. But will I begin my day with it? No. Remember the acid which is already collected in your stomach? Well, I would then have a glass of warm water. And in the warm water, most children don't like the taste of warm water. So for children, I would say add honey. Again, a boost to their immunity. If they don't want the full glass, just give them half a cup. That's a great beginning to the day because it dilutes the acid in your stomach and helps it move forward. On top of it, then after some time, not immediately, sitting down this smoothie. Why to sit down? As per Ayurveda and any other traditional medicine also, when you stand up, you prevent the action of digestion. True enough, sit down and at least savor the smoothie. Let it move in your tongue. We know how to move wine in our mouth. Why not let the smoothie savor the flavors of the smoothie? Believe me, it is yummy. Add a banana, add a little bit of mango or papaya. It tastes really good. The banana would give you the potassium, which is again needed to kickstart your day. So now this is about the smoothie. Some would say my children don't like having smoothies in the morning. Fair enough. You don't want to add water, it can be like a porridge, you can feed it to them. But some kids don't like it. Don't force them. Then we come to the national dish of India. No, it's not paratha, it's not idli. It's khichdi. Khichdi is the national dish of India. And khichdi pakana is all over India. Well, figuratively and pun, you can have an intended pun on that. We are good at pakawing khichdi. North, south, east, west, we all know how to make our khichdi, which is pongal with little more amount of dal in it, right? So khichdi per se, we use different kinds of dals in it. Moong dal, which is the most easiest to digest. Masoor dal. Very, very rarely would somebody use a tur dal. Moong dal and masoor dal are very easy to digest and they blend in with the rice. So when the khichdi is cooked, it is overcooked dal and rice. Now I use a variation to this. I use sprouted mung beans. So I take my mung beans, the green mungs, and I sprout them. So not only I get extra energies from the sprouts, because remember, when a sprout comes up, the baby plant is germinating and nature is providing all kind of nutrition. Also, I get the green cover, which is again the non-soluble fiber, which would help reduce cholesterol and help in reducing constipation. So when you overcook this, well, there is a process for non-Indians, the tadka or the tempering, which is done with oil. I usually put black pepper, because that is an immune builder, along with my mustard seeds and jeera and my curry leaves, a great antibacterial, antiviral agent. Not to mention the ginger, which helps in digestion, and also the yellow ginger, which all of us now know, which is out of the market because suddenly everybody feels that's the solution to corona. Well, that goes in the tempering. Then comes the rice or the yellow moong dal or the sprouted mung beans. You saute it, add a lot of water, add all kinds of vegetables like carrots, peas, you name it, and I can add it. I use brown rice or red rice in my khichdi and let it cook. You serve it hot with ghee if you're a non-vegan, or simply oil. And in the sleep, when your child is going to school half asleep, it's very easy to feed because they don't have to chew. They're not even willing to gulp down, let alone chew. So if you give them a breakfast of bread toast and butter and eggs and parathas, believe me, half the food is just shoved in with water or milk or whatever it is that they are drinking, and it is not going to get digested. You might feel psychologically that you have fed your child something great, but the child has really received no nutrition. So khichdi is a great start to the day because it has proteins, it has complex carb, and it has the vegetables. Now, in Southeast Asia, a variation of the khichdi, which I have grown to love in these 18 years that I have been in Singapore, is Kanji. Kanji can be made from brown rice, red rice, or white rice, but the healthier option, as you all know, would be the red or the brown rice. In this, the herbs that I use are lemongrass, ginger, and garlic. And then I add black-eyed beans, which I've soaked overnight. I add pumpkin, I add sweet potato. You get umpteen number of sweet potatoes here from Vietnam and from Indonesia. And then I also add tofu for the healthy protein bit. I, of course, buy the organic tofu. Now, this is cooked either on slow fire or in a rice cooker. You can do a bit of planning so you don't have to waste a lot of time in the morning. You can pre-cook it and keep and just heat it in the morning. Now that's one format of congee, and I love it. Whenever I travel or even in my home, I love the glassy texture that I can get out of the congee. Again, a great food to feed your children now that schools are starting, especially if they don't like the healthy smoothies. This is also a great healthy breakfast to give them because they don't have to chew. In their sleep, you can just ask them to have spoons after spoon, and it will give them energy. Also, the herbs that you have added would boost their immunity and last them at least till they return home and have their next meal. Once again, let me tell you, yes, you might say, oh, but Singapore is a hot country. Why do we need hot breakfast? Well, we stay in a hot country, but we have air-conditioned buses, and some of our classrooms are so cold that they are colder than the colder countries. So children do need a warm breakfast in the morning. It also warms up their system. Mind you, in my smoothie also, I do not put ice. It's not, as per Ayurveda and traditional medicine, you do not cool down your system in the morning, you warm it up. You warm up the Jataragni or the fire in your belly. The other side, if some people don't have or some children don't like having savory in the morning, you have the sweet porridge. Ragi, the millet, is a great source of iron as well as calcium. For a vegan like me or children who don't like to have milk, it provides a rich amount of calcium. So you can make a ragi porridge, and again you can make ragi porridge savory or sweet. You get sprouted ragi flour, which is ragi which is sprouted and then made into flour, and the cooking procedure is same. Saute it, add water and let it cook. If you want it sweet, you can add raisins, you can add dates, you can add the nut powder as I showed you, or you can add finely chopped nuts, and to again add the immunity building herbs. You can add cinnamon powder and add nutmeg powder, cardamom or elaichi powder, or a bit of saffron. Not all together, keep variations. So that would be a healthy ragi porridge. In place of ragi, you could replace it with organic oats. I have to say organic oats because over the years, the overconsumption of oats, because oats became the cholesterol busting grain and everybody wants to have oats. Well, therefore, there are a lot of non-organic oats which are full of pesticides. So do buy the organic oats. You can replace it with organic oats, or as I again said, you can make even a sweet porridge from brown or red rice, and it is tasty. You can add coconut milk to it to give it this Asian flavor. So this is what we would do in the quality of a sweet, slightly sweet, not savory breakfast. Why I am saying all this is because the breakfast like parathas or idli or dosa or omelets and breads take a lot of time to chew. That would really need a kingly time. If you have that kind of a kingly time, which is usually on weekends, do indulge yourself. But on weekdays, on working days, when you don't have time, please do consider these breakfasts. Not only they will give you the energy to last you through the day, but they will also boost your immunity. And never ever skip a breakfast. If you're not hungry, just have a blended fruit and go. Banana being the best among the lot, because banana is packed with nutrition. In fact, instead of saying an apple a day keeps the doctor away, one should say a banana a day keeps a doctor away. And banana is perennial. It is found all over the world. And yes, you don't have to peel, it doesn't take a lot of effort to peel a banana. And mind you, a doctor is saying this. A banana day keeps the doctor away. So I am telling you to keep me away by having bananas. Again, we live in a sad world where our bananas are also treated with a lot of chemicals. But the saving grace is at least we can throw away the peel and pray that those chemicals have not entered the center. If you can get organic bananas, which you do get in the green circle in Singapore through the Singapore farmers, you're lucky. But till then, let's make do with what you have. Now, also remember that try to teach your child to chew. Don't feed them while showing them an iPad. As it is, we in this lockdown are exposed too much, way too much to the screen. Now don't add further and be considerate to them. Let it not be a battle on the breakfast table. Try to play around with their taste. Find out what is it that they like. If they like the mango, you can easily hide the papaya in the mango. The color and the texture is same. So for half a mango, you can put a small bit of papaya. The child wouldn't complain. Play along with their taste. Play along with what they are doing. And yes, teach them to be, at least at that time, in a state where they are at least not distracted by something. Let's be considerate. They have been in lockdown for 2 months. They have slept late, woken up late. Now suddenly we want them to wake up early and catch the school bus to school. Let's make it a happy event in the morning and not a screaming, screeching fight. Wake them up a little early. Maybe turn all the clocks in your house a little before time, so that everybody gets a virtual feeling that, oh, it's late, when actually it's early, and gives them time to eat peacefully. Play around with what taste they like. If they like savory, as I said, we have our Kanji, we have our Khichdi, we have our Pongal with a lot more of dal and some vegetables added to it. Or we can do the savory porridge, oats porridge, ragi porridge, millet porridge, or just the nice wholesome fruit smoothie. Whatever you do, remember, keep it a happy meal, right? Not the McDonald's happy meal, but a really happy breakfast. Pack them with good blessings, good quality food, good quantity of food. Don't overfill them and let them go to face the day full of energy. And mind you, an energetic child is a child whose immunity is also upbeat. On that note, thank you very much and have a great working week from tomorrow. Enjoy what you do. Be happy, be healthy, be blessed. Thank you.